Cooking Adventures with Katie, Season 3. Foodie Friday. Baked macaroni. Sorry that it's a little lopsided. Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking Adventures with Katie, Season 3. On today's Foodie Friday, we are going to be making baked macaroni. Now, family recipe baked macaroni calls for penne, but this one calls for macaroni elbow noodles themselves. So, I asked David, I was like, which would you prefer? And he goes, macaroni. So, that's what we're using. Using regular macaroni instead of penne rigate for our noodles. But both are good. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and set your oven to 350. Unless it heats pretty quick, in which case, you can wait until you're waiting those 15 minutes, letting the bechamel white sauce simmer. You can do that too. But I'm going to go ahead and get mine started on 350. I went ahead and minced my half small onion, and I have my bay leaf sitting out and all my spices. I got my butter and my cheese portioned out and ready to go. So for this, the best thing you can do is have everything set and ready. And honestly, as I'm learning cooking, that's the best thing you can do in general, is just kind of have everything ready to go. So you can just kind of dump it when you're good, and instead of having to waste a whole lot of time taking 4 hours to do something that could have taken less time. So I got my onion chopped up, got my bay leaf. Now David wanted spicy macaroni, so we've got those leftover chili peppers. I went ahead and cut one up. It's not quite minced, but I got it chopped up as best I could. And we have our, we've got a scale now actually, and I've got 6 ounces and 3 ounces of cheese weighed out separately. So now the total is 2 1/4 cup. So when we add in our first bout of cheese to the cheese sauce, we are going to be adding 2/3 of the cheese, shredded cheese. So I have it weighed out by ounces, since ounces is what it had as a kind of a marker. So we're going to go ahead and get everything set up. We're going to go ahead and start our water for our macaroni, since that's probably going to take the longest amount of time to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. After that, I think while we're waiting on the, while we're simmering the cheese gently, stirring frequently for 15 minutes for the bechamel, getting that cheese sauce ready, we are going to be buttering our breadcrumbs that I have off to the side as well. So we will be using 1 full stick of butter total in this entire recipe. So without further ado, let's get started. Oven 350, water boiling, onion and cheese are minced and shredded. So let's do this. Alright, so go ahead and pull out the smallest whisk you own and set it to the side, because you will be using that. We'll go ahead and cut our small or medium saucepan on, and cut that down to, we'll do 3.5, 4 on medium-low. We're going to go ahead and grab our 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter, and we'll get that melted. Now we're going to leave the rest of the butter out, so we will have that for browning or buttering our breadcrumbs. Once this gets melted, we are going to slowly add in, continuously whisking, 4 tablespoons of flour. So I'll see you when we come back to that. Alright, so now that we are at this point, we are going to whisk in 4 tablespoons of flour. until it is smooth. Alright, so that was 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here's 4. Alright, so I'm going to turn you over this. It's alright, we got this. Heat is still on, I'm still filming. Oh my god, that looks going great right now. Okay, well, let's just do this. Alright, same camera angle. Remove from heat and slowly whisk in 2 cups of milk. If you wanted to scald the milk, you could do that as well. That is an option. Alright, then you want to return it to the heat and whisk until it is smooth and beginning to thicken, about 1 to 2 minutes. Alright, so now we want to stir in our onion, a bay leaf, and our 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Now remember, since David wanted a spicy macaroni, we're also going to be adding 1 red chili powder to it as well. Am I gonna need a bigger pot? Probably. One of the things I'm learning, always use a bigger pot than what you think you need. And I have not forgotten about the paprika. Alright, now for our breadcrumbs. While that's getting ready to simmer and that's still trying to boil, we'll go ahead and put this down on, we'll put it on 2 so it's low. And we want to slowly brown our breadcrumbs in a 1/2 stick of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and add butter first, and then add our breadcrumbs. Now I've got my the Italian breadcrumbs, so if you're using regular breadcrumbs or homemade breadcrumbs, you want to season your breadcrumbs with some salt and before doing this, and you want about 1/4 teaspoon of salt per cup. So we're going to slowly do this and let it brown. I need a spatula of some sort, and we'll get this lightly buttered. Well, buttered, lightly browned. That's what we want. Buttered and lightly browned. Alright, so while we're waiting on everything to get up to speed, for the record, the cheese is lactose-free Boar's Head Vermont yellow cheddar. They have white cheddar that is also lactose-free, and the Switzerland Swiss is lactose-free as well. So Switzerland Swiss, Vermont white cheddar, and Vermont yellow cheddar are all lactose-free Boar's Head cheeses. The milk is Kroger brand, lactose-free whole milk, and the butter is Earth Balance buttery spread soy butter. The breadcrumbs are gluten-free, are Kroger brand gluten-free Italian breadcrumbs, which are the only breadcrumbs that are cheap that I can find without milk in them. So if you find the regular breadcrumbs, they will have milk in them. Actually, see, gluten-free and rice flour, xanthan, cane sugar, yeast, sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, basil, fennel, paprika, celery, absorbic acid, acido conditioner, no milk. So everything is lactose free. So if you have a dairy allergy, or if you are lactose intolerant, you can have this. If you have a milk allergy, sorry guys, but there are other types of cheese that you could use that it might not have the same effect, but it would work. Like Daya has a yellow cheddar cheese. They've also got a pepper jack cheese. That's new, and we haven't tried it yet, but that's new. And Go Veggie has a yellow cheese. So I mean, there are brands that you can use. These are just the real thing, just lactose free. For the buttered breadcrumbs, you could use ghee instead, but as for the bechamel, yeah, I don't think so. But in the meantime, now we're just waiting on the water to get to that rolling boil, and it's on high, so we're just kind of waiting. It's just a smaller eye, so yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. But once everything gets up to speed, we will come back with you. Alright, so once your pot of water is got to a rolling boil, you want to add 2 cups of dried macaroni. So, half a box, I think? I don't remember, but 2 cups. Also, for your pasta, you want it to be just tender. So you want it to be very al dente. You don't want it to be cooked all the way ready to go, because it's going to be in the oven baking with all these other delicious juices. So it's going to get softer once it's in the oven. So unless you want your pasta overly done, don't cook it all the way done. You want it to be like just barely finished. Alright, so once your bechamel is done cooking for the 15 minutes, remove it from the heat and add in 6 of your 9 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. Also, at this point in time, the macaroni should be just about done and ready to go for baking. So, go ahead and drain your pasta and then pull out a second bowl. Or, well, a bowl, not a second one. It'll be your first bowl. And don't forget to remove your bay leaf. Let's see. Yep. So once this is mixed, we're going to mix the cheese, sauce, and the pasta and the macaroni together in a bowl, and then we are going to layer them into the baking dish with cheese, and then we are going to top it with the breadcrumbs. Oh, also, at this point in time, before you mix your before you mix your sauce and your macaroni together, go ahead and salt and pepper to taste. Alright, so in probably a larger bowl than this, we're going to add our cheese sauce to our pasta and mix everything up. scooch that over and grab our, well, recipe calls for 1.5 quart. This is a 2-quart, 2-inch tall baking dish. So if you have this, it'll work just as well. So we want to do half of our pasta with half of our cheese, so 1.5 ounces. Spread that out all nice and pretty. Alright, and then we want the other half of our pasta and the other half of our cheese, so the other 1.5 ounces. I think I grabbed too much the first time, but that is okay. Okay, and then now we take our buttered breadcrumbs and spread them over the top. Now, at this point in time, if this was a dish for like tomorrow, then at this point in time you would take a piece of tin foil, cover it up, and then pull it out 30 minutes prior to cooking, so that way the glass would warm back up just a smidgen, and then throw it in at 350 for 30 minutes. So, but since this is for dinner tonight, I am just going to go ahead and put it in the oven. And I'll see y'all in about 30 minutes. Woo! Gotta let it sit 5 minutes. Alright, so this is really good. I think having macaroni instead of penne does change the flavor a little bit. The macaroni is a thinner noodle than the penne, but it's baked and it's delicious. I feel like maybe if I added an egg to it, it would help it like stay together more. Might make it a little bit more creamy, but it's good. How do you like it?
I like it alright.
There's not a vote for next week because next week is a special occasion, and I will tell you what's going on Monday. So, with that being said, please like, subscribe, comment, share the video. I'll see y'all Monday with the Monday Mouthful, and we'll do stuff next week. Bye guys. See y'all Monday.